A few years ago, I stumbled upon a type of fish I had never seen before, and I fell in love instantly. Little did I know that would kick off a new journey in my fish keeping hobby, one with a much bigger goal than just keeping some cool fish. Today, I'm going to give you an update on that journey because along this road, I have found brilliant success, but I've also met devastating failure. A little background first. I'm a guy who likes keeping cichlids, specifically African cichlids, as evidenced by the 600-gallon aquarium right behind me. But I've also enjoyed keeping Central and South Americans. I have a big tank full of monster fish. I also enjoy community fish like your rainbow fish, your tetras, etc. The point is, I enjoy them all, and I've kept a lot. So when I came across these fish that I'm about to show you that I had never even heard about before, I was surprised. So what I'm about to show you are some incredibly rare fish, some amazing fish. I'm talking about the fishes of Madagascar. Now some of you might hear Madagascan fish and think, this guy. This is a starry night cichlid. That's the common name. I'm not going to get into the debate around its species name right now. They are fish from the genus Paratilapia, and they are the most widely recognized of the Madagascan fish, and one of the few species that are somewhat obtainable in the hobby. And they're beautiful. But these are not the fish I'm talking about tonight, because these are still accessible. You can go out and buy these. I myself have a group of 8 of them, 4 males and 4 females. No, what I'm talking about is pretty much every other fish from Madagascar, like these guys. These are known as pinstripe dambas. Their species name is Paratroplus minorambo. And this right here is the fish that I found one day, strolling the internet, and I absolutely fell in love. And this fish opened a door for me to a whole new side of the hobby. These cichlids from Madagascar are all highly endangered, and every one of them could use a lot more people keeping them and breeding them to help propagate the species. And I want to see more hobbyists keeping these fish for that purpose. But they're also so cool. Look at these things. They're amazing. Now, these are probably some of the prettier of the options. These pinstripe dambas. Oh, look at that thing. So I'm keeping 8 of these pinstripe dambas in this 300-gallon aquarium. This tank measures 8 feet long. It's a good size aquarium. Now, these are a fish where in my journey of keeping Madagascan fish, this is a middle of the road fish for me. I have not had any great success, and by success, what I'm defining as success is, can I breed these fish? I have not yet been able to breed these pinstripe dambas. They have laid eggs for me, but I have not gotten them to be able to hatch those eggs. So that is a dream of mine, to be able to breed and propagate these fish. Over in this 280, I have my Tychochromis grandidii, common name the East Coast Gold, and they're also a gorgeous fish. Now with this species, you can see I've already had good fortune in breeding them. There is a cloud of fry here, free swimming fry. This is another one of the species where I kind of don't get why more people don't keep it, because look at how cool these things are. Granted, these are breeding colors, but if you have a good pair, they're breeding like 50% of the time at least. They almost always look like this. I've also had great success with this Tychochromis species, the Tychochromis maintii. They do not have a common name. They look pretty similar to the Grandidii, the golds, but their colors are a little different, and when they're not breeding, they're this very cool charcoal black, which I think is very interesting. And I have bred hundreds and hundreds of these fish and distributed them to other hobbyists. So with the Tychochromis, things have been looking up for me. Where I need to extend that luck, where I really am crossing my fingers and hoping for a miracle, is in this tank over here. So this 225-gallon up top houses 2 more species of Paratroplus. So these fish with the big dot in the middle of their sides, these are the spotted damba. Paratroplus maculatus. Now, this is a fish where I've encountered some unfortunate situations. I started out with 8 of these things. I lost 4 of them to a unidentified disease. So that is my issue is I only have 4 fish left. I have seen them lay eggs, but the eggs have never hatched. So this is a challenge. This is one where I've faced disappointment. Similarly, with the Paratroplus damii, this is the Madagascan that is arguably in the greatest need of help from other hobbyists. Less than 5 people keep this fish in North America, and I'm only aware of one other who has actually bred them. I started out with 14 of these fish provided by that individual. I'm unfortunately down to 9, so I have lost a few. These fish have also laid eggs for me once, very recently in fact, and I was thrilled, over the moon. Now those eggs didn't hatch, but I'm still going to count it as a win. Maybe the parents probably just need some more time. So I have had some difficulties here, but I am optimistic. But it's now time, unfortunately, to cover the bad news. This journey of mine with Madagascan fish has not been without its failures. And losing these Paratroplus dambabe was one of the most gut-wrenching. I had 8 of these fish as near adults. They were growing well, they were coming up on breeding age, and then one week they just started dropping like flies to an unidentified disease, and nothing I did could save them. I did lose all the fish. I was able to replace them. I bought some more specimens. The last available from the breeder, the only person in the United States who has been known to breed these fish. So I just wish me luck because if my new specimens, if anything were to happen to them, they are very likely irreplaceable because you never know if the breeder will be able to breed more. And then we come to possibly the most devastating loss I've had in the hobby when I lost my Paratroplus neurosati. These are possibly the holy grail fish for Madagascan cichlid keepers. The problem is they are hyper aggressive. These are the most aggressive fish to each other that I've ever kept. And I've kept a lot of aggressive fish. I've purchased these twice from the only wholesaler who was known to have a breeding operation, and I paid exorbitant prices, and I lost them both times. And unfortunately, they're out. They are no long that business is no longer in the business of breeding these fish. So there's one other hobbyist who has been known to breed these in North America, and I'm just crossing my fingers that it happens someday because otherwise these fish are irreplaceable and they very well may go extinct. There are a couple other species I've kept that I haven't had luck with, but they're a little less on the irreplaceable side. Paratroplus kianeri, sometimes known as the calico damba. That's not what's on screen right now. I don't have any good footage to share. But they're a cool fish. Check them out. They are sometimes available. And also the Tychochromis oligocanthus, another really cool fish. A little more available in the hobby on occasion. If I ever come across them, I will definitely be adding them back to my collection. But so far, I haven't had the best of luck keeping them. But hey guys, that's kind of the end of my story here. That is the update on Madagascan fish in my fish room. I hope in the future to have some good news to share with you in regards to my Madagascan breeding projects. But until then, I'm just going to enjoy these fish for what they are, enjoy them in my hobby, and I really hope some of you consider keeping Madagascan fish as well at some point. It's definitely a rewarding experience. Well, thanks though for watching, and until next time, take it easy.